Breaking news: ECOWAS has officially set its sights on Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Before we proceed to the rest of the news, please subscribe if you haven't, thanks. Now let's continue with the rest. For those of you who have been following this case closely, you know this isn't just another story about someone in detention. This is a story that has sparked major debate and stirred emotions across Nigeria and the entire West African region. And now, with ECOWAS stepping in, the story is taking a new turn. Kanu has been in detention for years now, and his case has become a symbol of political tension in the southeast region of Nigeria. His supporters see him as a hero, a champion of the right to self-determination. They believe that the Nigerian government has wrongfully detained him, silencing his cause and denying him his rights. For them, Kanu is not just a political prisoner, he is a symbol of everything that's wrong with the system. Now, ECOWAS is getting involved. The West African body, known for its role in maintaining peace and stability in the region, has decided it's time to intervene. They've made it clear that they are not just watching from the sidelines. They are going to do something about it. A delegation from ECOWAS is set to meet with Kanu in Sokoto, where he's currently being held as part of an ongoing investigation into his detention. The delegation will likely look into whether the conditions surrounding his arrest, trial, and detention have been fair and in line with international human rights standards. Is a serious move. And it shows that ECOWAS isn't just going to let things slide, they are going to dig deeper and see if justice is being served. But why is this so important? Well, ECOWAS stepping in adds a whole new layer of attention to the case. This isn't just about Nigeria anymore, it's about how the country's justice system is perceived across the region. If ECOWAS, a respected regional body, says that something isn't right, it sends a strong message to the international community. This could have ripple effects in other countries within West Africa. If the body calls out Nigeria for any mishandling, it could lead to a wider discussion on governance, human rights, and legal practices, not just in Nigeria, but across the entire continent. Now, let's be real. ECOWAS doesn't just jump into situations like this lightly, it's a significant move. And the fact that the body has urged President Tinubu to either grant Kanu a pardon, or at least ensure he gets a fair hearing, says a lot. It's not just about the legal process anymore, it's about fairness. It's about ensuring that human rights are respected, no matter who you are or what you've done. The eyes of the world will be on President Tinubu now. How he responds could have long-lasting consequences for his administration and for Nigeria's image on the global stage. But there's a twist in this story. While Kanu's supporters are celebrating the ECOWAS involvement, the Nigerian government and many of its officials have been quick to defend the legal process that led to Kanu's detention. They argue that he was tried according to the law, that the courts have spoken, and that the government is simply enforcing the law. To them, the idea of a pardon or outside intervention doesn't sit well. They believe that this is about maintaining order and following due process. However, detention is rising because this case has become about more than just one man's fate. It's about a broader debate on justice, governance, and the rights of citizens. Kanu has become a symbol of a much larger issue. The growing disconnect between the government and certain segments of the Nigerian population, especially in the southeast, this issue has the potential to ignite long-standing tensions, and ECOWAS is well aware of this. When you think about it, it's not just about Nnamdi Kanu. It's about the people who believe in him. It's about the people who feel left behind, unheard, and oppressed. These are people who have been pushing for changes in the political structure for years, and Kanu's imprisonment has only intensified their frustrations. It's no wonder that his case has sparked protests, petitions, and even calls for Biafra's independence. What's interesting here is that ECOWAS has the power to influence not just Nigeria's legal system, but the entire political landscape, 448, in the region. They've been involved in mediating disputes and upholding peace across West Africa for decades, so when they step in like this, it brings a sense of legitimacy to the cause for justice. And if the delegation's findings lead to significant pressure on the Nigerian government, it could be a turning point. Let's also talk about the government's position for a moment. President Tinubu and his administration have been facing a lot of heat over this. Some are saying that the government should do more to show that it's listening to the concerns of the Southeast. Others argue that as much as this is a political issue, the law must take precedence. There's a belief that bending the law for political reasons could set a dangerous precedent. The government is stuck in a delicate balance here. They need to manage the pressure from both the local and international community while keeping the rule of law intact. The question on everyone's mind is, what will happen next? How will ECOWAS intervention change the game? If they find that Kanu's detention hasn't been fair, will it lead to his release? Or will the government stand firm and say that the legal process must run its course? We don't have all the answers yet, but what we do know is that this issue isn't going away anytime soon. Now let's look at some potential outcomes. If ECOWAS determines that Kanu has been unfairly treated, they could recommend a complete review of his case, or even call for his release. However, that's not something that can be easily done, especially when the Nigerian government is determined to enforce its laws. But the international pressure could be a game changer. If ECOWAS and other global bodies like the UN or AU throw their weight behind Kanu's supporters, the Nigerian government might have no choice but to reconsider its stance. There's also the possibility that the Nigerian government could try to find a middle ground. They might not fully release Kanu, but they could allow for a more transparent hearing, or perhaps even pardon him under certain conditions. This would allow them to save face politically while also appeasing the international community. But whatever happens, the story is far from over. Kanu supporters aren't going anywhere, and the government isn't backing down either. The spotlight is firmly on Nigeria right now. How President Tinubu handles this situation could very well define his presidency, especially with the 2026 elections on the horizon. If he fails to act in a way that resonates with the people, he could face significant backlash. But if he handles this with wisdom and diplomacy, he could turn this into a moment of reconciliation. The tension is palpable, and the stakes are incredibly high. ECOWAS has already made its move. Now all eyes are on Nigeria to see how it responds. Will this be the moment that brings justice for Nnamdi Kanu? Or will it be another chapter in the ongoing political struggles that have defined Nigeria for decades? This is where we stand right now. But the story isn't finished yet. We'll have to keep an eye on the developments as they unfold. And trust me, we'll be here to bring you all the updates as soon as they come in. So what do you think? Should Kanu be released, or should the law take its course? Do you think ECOWAS is doing the right thing? Drop your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest updates on this story. Let's keep the conversation going.